How you doing, guys? I'm Sean. Welcome to Rambles with my camera. Yeah, today's video. Took out in the back garden here. I'm going to be sitting talking about I think something very, very important, and I've seen it raised so many times, and I've also got into conversation with various photographers online about it, and also in the physical presence about it. Should street photographers, be photographing children in the street? And it's a very touchy subject, because the first thing you normally always get is people, oh, no children, you have to ask permission, and you wouldn't touch that, but paedophilia and things. And I want to pick your brains to see what you think about it, but I'm also going to be sharing you mine. I've got many years experience photographing children in the street, and I'm going to be continuing to do it in the future. But there does seem to be, it's like a hotbed of people's opinions on should photographers really be photographing children in the street, and parents, overprotective parents, and I'm just going to show you my views on that. So I think it's going to be interesting, guys. So guys, along the short of it, what I want to say is I believe that as street photographers, we should be photographing children in the street. There should be no difference between a child and an adult. Now, right away you could be starting to say, oh, the parents is going to be, getting angry at you, or you could be mistaken for a, paedophile or things like that. And I think the biggest mistake that photographers are making, and I've touched on this in other videos, and I really want you to take this on board, what I'm trying to share with you here, guys. You're going to have to know why you're taking photographs. And that sounds, very simplistic, like, but why are you taking photographs in the street? Why are you taking photographs of strangers? Why would you be considering taking photographs of children in the street? Ask yourself that question and listen to the answer that you give. And if you haven't got an answer, two things: get an answer or stop doing it. I photograph people in the street because I want to document the street. I'm a street photographer. I'm a photographer, but I do street photography. It interests me. People interest me. What people are wearing now. This era, time flies so quick. I want to be able to document that. It's street photography, social documentary, sort of, crisscrosses on the thing. But I know what I am. I'm a photographer. And when I'm photographing and I happen to see an adult, old, male, female, child, it doesn't matter. If it interests my mind that I'm sitting saying there's a photograph, I'll take it. But the difference between me and a lot of other photographers, let's say for talk's sake I happen to see a child playing in the street. As I walk down, I'd take a photograph. If that parent or guardian approaches me and says, hey, what are you doing? First thing I do is, how you doing? Sean Allen. Hand goes straight out. Some of them will back off and the hand will go, what are you doing? You take a photograph. Yes, I did actually, yeah. Why do you take I'm a photographer. I'm a street photographer. And I can look them in the eyes because that's what I am. So many out there taking photographs and they're shitting themselves because they're scared of being approached by the people that they're taking photographs of. Why? Why is that you're actually petrified that you're going to get pulled by somebody? That somebody's going to approach you and say, did you take my fucking photograph there? Did you take my photograph there? You have to be prepared for that to happen. And this is what I want you to do, is get your story straight. Know why you're there, know why you're taking them photographs. Don't be bumbling about, I'm sorry, I'll delete the photograph. No. Know your story. You're doing nothing wrong. You're a photographer. So let's say for talk's sake you're a student. We're all students in photography, no matter what age we are or how long we're at it. But let's say for talk's sake you're a student in photography. That's your story. Or I'm a local photography student and I'm just documenting and working on a project. Or maybe you're not. Maybe it's just going to say that you're a photographer and you're wanting to do street photography. How you doing? I'm Joe Blogs. I'm a street photographer. And I just love documenting the areas. And I've seen you there and I found you very interesting. And I just want to take your photograph. or seen your child playing there. It was just great to see the way the light was coming down, because you have to know why you wanted to take that photograph before you took that photograph. Don't just snap a photograph of a child without wanting to know, without seeing some sort of image in your mind. And I think that's where a lot of people get themselves into trouble, because you're snapping photographs of adults and children without really knowing why you're taking that photograph. And you wonder why people get angry at you when you get pulled and they turn around and say, "What did you take my photograph for?" But I'll photograph somebody because someone inside my head says, "That looks good, that's a good photograph." I'm able to at that tell the person why I've took that photograph. And photographing children is no different. Now, if you're a paedophile, sleazebag, scumbag, and you're watching this video because you think the title is going to get you somewhere else, you know, you can fuck off. Like, it's not about that. These people sleek about with their wee compact cameras or their DSLRs or their cameras, and they hide them up the coat, and they try to take candid photographs of children. You know what I mean? Maybe they have bare legs or whatever, or low camera angles. They're sneaking about with the rest of the scumbags on that lower level. Well, you as a photographer, don't do that. Walk with your head high. Let people see you've got camera gear. If you're in a play area, a park area, it's sort of dodgy because you've got parents there. Approach the parents. Tell them what you're doing. I will say, tell you to get yourself some sort of media presence, like social media presence, a website, portfolio, maybe a Facebook page, something active, something with your photograph on it. Get yourself a business card done up. Hand them a business card, even go onto your phone, iPhone, show them your website, show them the thing, say, "Look, I'm a street photographer, here's my portfolio." That's enough to break that you're not some sort of sleazebag out trying to take a candid photograph of some child playing. Guys, you have to use a bit of common sense here. But the main thing I'm trying to get you to realise is you're not doing nothing wrong. In your mind, you might be thinking that it's a bit creepy that you're going to be taking photographs of children playing about. Well, if that's the case, then don't do it. But at least get to know why you're taking that photograph. And that doesn't matter whether it's children or adults. Don't walk about just saying, "Oh, I'm going to take a photograph. I'm a street photographer, therefore I'm going to take this photograph," like a real hipster walking about and clicking photographs because it's in to be a street photographer. It's bigger than that. So should we as photographers be photographing children in the street? Yes, we should. If the photograph is there, we're documenting. You know, street photography, the term street photography is relatively new. It's a relatively new term. We're photographers. And people would have took photographs in the street. And then people started to departmentalise them. They actually turn out, "Oh, this here is street photography, this is social documentary, this is, you know, it's photography." So when you're out taking photographs and you want to photograph children in the street, as long as it's an interesting photograph, use a bit of common sense. If you're hanging about, you know, swimming areas and things like that, then, you know, I would be saying, ask yourself why that's interesting enough for you to be. Or if you're on the beach, there's going to be parents with the children. When you're approaching, nod over to the parent. But I'm saying, tell you guys, and I'm talking about real photographers, not talking about sleazebags who may be tuning in here. Have an online portfolio with your photography on it. And then that way you're able to show them a business card. And be prepared for people to say, "No, I don't want your photograph taken." But you're not doing anything wrong. Back to the original question, should we as photographers be taking photographs of children in the street? Yes, as long as the photograph is capturing something special. But you have to have some sort of reason why you raise that camera to your eye. But you're not doing anything wrong. Try for a wind here, guys. Tell you one thing, wind of this clematis here, going to fall down the top of us. So guys, wee bit sensitive topic. Look, I've been photographing, you know, kids and adults from the late 80s, 86, 87 onwards, and I've got thousands of photographs of them. And the kids that I'd photographed then, I'm in communication with them through my Facebook page. They're now grown adults themselves, and they've got children themselves. And I have yet, and I'm talking about in thousands of photographs that I've taken of children, have I ever get into any hassle. Now people can say, oh, different era. I'm still photographing children now playing. Do you know what I mean? I'm still photographing adults now, but I'm still photographing children playing. Social documentary. If I'm sitting there, I was in the market there, and I took a photograph of a child playing. The grandfather was sitting there. I never even asked him. I seen the photograph, I took a photograph. I ended up talking to him afterwards. So what I'm trying to say to you is get your story straight. What are you taking photographs for? Why are you out in the street taking photographs for? Is it an ego thing with you? Is it just because you want to be in, like, I want to be street photography, it's a pastime to you, that's okay, that's fine. But what interests you about photography? What makes you want to take their photograph? What makes you want to take that child's photograph, that child playing? Don't just turn around and say because I'm a street photographer. You have to come up with more than that. So guys, there you go. I want you to leave your comments down below. I know it's a sensitive topic, but remember this here, there's been paedophiles from day one. Sadly, from day one. It's not a new thing. People are definitely more suspicious now than they were years ago because of the advance of photography and social media. But I would say that walk with your head high, have your camera over your shoulder, around your neck, eye contact with the parents or the people who's playing, or the people who's watching over, the guardians of the children playing, if they happen to be there. Have yourself a social media presence with your face on it, none of these with you're not in it, with, you know, a made up name. People want to see your face. You're a photographer, yet you've no face on your avatar, on your website. It's all cloak and dagger. That's suspicious. Get your photograph on your social media. Get your photographs, get your portfolios, get business cards. Know your story, why you're taking photographs. Look at this here, beautiful day. And get out and take some photographs, but know why you're taking photographs. Don't just take them because you're a street photographer. That's lame, that's ridiculous. You know, stop being a hipster, walking about because it's in to be a street photographer. Get it from your heart. Take your photographs from your mind and have your story straight. And I guarantee you, you'll get no hassle whatsoever. Guys, send you love from Ireland. Leave your comments down below. Give the video a like. Consider sharing it. Check me out on Twitter and on Facebook. And also rambleswithmcamera.com and also my Flickr page. Guys, send you love from Ireland. And thanks again for watching.